It's not the sort of honour any one of us should be proud of, but Australia does have the distinction as the biggest per capita emitter of greenhouse gases in the world. And as far as any one of these households are concerned, well, heating and cooling accounts for about 28%. We decided to do a test to see just how big a difference a few elements can make when you're not only trying to bring down your energy use, but the bill. Believe it or not, over the past 30 years or so, Australian homes have actually increased the amount of energy used. The average 3-bedroom brick home of the 50s has given way to huge open-plan mansions. Gardens have gone, so have the verandas that kept homes cool in summer and warmer in winter. Even inside, the trend towards minimal design and decorating is putting a strain on the planet.
The average household contributes to about 1.5 tonnes of greenhouse gas per year. Therefore, a lot of that is through both heating and air conditioning of the home.
John Hewson is an interiors expert. He's also one of Al Gore's own climate ambassadors, and he's on a mission to get the message across that as homeowners, small changes to an existing home can make a big difference. This is an empty living room in an average Sydney apartment. Bare floors and windows. Sean Towner from FLIR Systems is taking a thermal reading. Sean, tell me what this device does.
This device is an infrared thermal imaging camera that essentially is going to show us the thermal contrast on the window.
So the amount of heat that's coming off the window.
Exactly.
And you've just done that reading in a bare room. What's it come up with?
On this single glaze, it's 24 degrees.
24 degrees, okay. John, what are we going to do to this room in the hopes of bringing that figure down?
We're now going to insulate the room. We're going to apply floor coverings to the floor, window coverings to the windows, and also double glaze the windows, and apply a tracking system which will eliminate airflow.
Is it going to make a difference?
Absolutely.
While that happens, think about this. The energy we use for heating and cooling a typical room generates more than 1.5 tonnes of greenhouse gas every year. And currently, 40% of Australian homes have no insulation.
Up to 35% of heat is actually lost through an uninsulated ceiling. Then there's also the walls and the floors as well.
In fact, an insulated home is up to 10 degrees warmer in winter, and that translates to a saving of up to $300 a year in reduced energy costs. Sure, timber floors are nice, but any gaps let in drafts and allow heat to escape. In the very least, lay rugs. The ones we're using have a Green Star rating. As for windows, well, uncovered, and you may as well leave them open. These Bauman curtains have the highest degree of block-out lining.
The pelmet is actually really important to the curtains as well, because the pelmet actually holds the heat within the confines of the room and stops that air circulation from escaping.
Double glazing the doors achieves an instant 5-star energy rating and not only keeps the heat or the cool in, but also reduces noise levels. Here's some other tips. Weather strip doors and windows to eliminate drafts. Zone your home by shutting doors. Block off an unused chimney and do what your mum told you. Wear a jumper and turn down the heater. So back to our room. A few hours later, and another test. Sean, we've got the floor coverings down, the curtains are up, the windows have been double glazed. You've done another thermal imaging reading. What does it show?
As you'd expect, Georgia, with all that insulation put in the room, the reading's now gone from 24 down to about 14 degrees.
And obviously if it was winter, we'd be talking the reverse and we'd be talking about keeping that heat in.
Indeed.
John, is that significant?
Most definitely, Georgia. A 1 degree change in temperature can actually add up to 10% to the average household energy bill.
Not a bad saving. Of course, that old phrase, you've got to spend money to save it, applies. Double glazing will generally cost you about 1/3 extra than single glazing, but can reduce heat gain and loss by 50%. With curtains, the higher the degree of blockout, the more energy efficient.
What's really encouraging about the exercise that we've shown today is that it's not just what it's benefiting the environment, but it's actually the savings that it's adding to the energy bill within the home as well.
Experts say we could all cut our household emissions by close to 1/3. So have a think about the way you're cooling, heating and lighting. And remember, the solution really can start at home. Georgia Hawkins, Sky News Eco Report.